Okay, guys, welcome back to Sam Plays Chess. If you're new to the channel, very welcome. I play chess every day and use a research-backed chess challenge where I've got a bank of resources from grandmasters, tons of different places, and I develop a daily plan and a daily focus. Today's daily focus is going to be forcing moves, and as you'll see in the game that I play today, I do try and focus, and I am getting better at focusing on that. So the value for you is going to be understanding these situations that if you make a forcing move, you put pressure on your opponent and understanding when you can and cannot do that. I've put a load of resources in the description below. So if you want to have a look at those, you can copy my template as well as look at the notebook LM file where you can create videos, audio scripts, chat with the resources and loads of other things. So check that out below and let's dive in today. Okay, guys, let's go into another rapid game. Now I've been bouncing up and down. Got white pieces again, which I'm very happy to see. My opponent plays here, which doesn't allow me to play the Jababa London. In capture, I don't really know this line so well, so perhaps I push actually. I think a bit more comfortable with this one. It does allow my opponent to come out here or here perhaps. If I go here, does it not make it really awkward for my opponent, like already to get a pawn here? How does he easily attack that, you know? Or is it kind of an overstretch at this moment? I have to take, I can take with the queen in a minute, or just develop the knight. Already I considered that as a forcing move, you know? Now I'm perhaps considering it because it kind of forces my opponent to come out. What does my opponent really do here? I kind of like that move actually. So I did stretch a little bit over, but now can't I? Guess my opponent can come back. Oh, perhaps made a blunder already. Now, okay. Now, perhaps I come here, hit the queen. My opponent takes, I just take, and I've got a really strong development. Yes, the pawn is. Okay, he's hung that pawn. Perhaps he totally missed that actually. Okay, now forcing moves. That feels like just a blunder to me, to be honest. Because how does he attack that rook easily? I think he's just blundered. Perhaps he can move the queen up, but it really feels like not a good move because I can get the. Now, do I take with? I guess that defends the rook, keeps everything nice. The advantage is taking with the knight here. What's my opponent attacking? I could defend it. Do I need to defend it though? That's the critical thing here. Now, do I have a better attack? Can I play something like... Not yet. I can play here. Let's come here. Okay, now can I not play... Thinking about some kind of sacrifice. I have some kind of forcing move here. My opponent's struggling to... Let's play that and then hit the knight. Perhaps I got that. Yeah, hit the knight if he castles. Okay, he does. Do I see any reason not to take? Take, hit the bish. Yeah. Force my opponent to take. Now do I want to open up, take this way or this way? Why do I want the advantage? His two passed pawns is going to be stronger. Two passed pawns in the middle, yeah, that seems pretty strong. Okay. No issues here, just where do I develop to? I'm here at some point. And this theme of attack now. Opponent can come here and here. Perhaps I stop his knight moves. Perhaps the intention at some point to play here. It does create a weakness though. Always got a just want to develop my bishop and I should be able to close this game. I could perhaps even play he does stop. What? He stops my knight coming here, but what does he do then? He has to come in behind. So I just develop here, or immediately start. Yeah, let's start. Let's go aggressive. That was a forcing move here. I'm not really worried about that. The only question is, do I play that first? Any issues in playing it immediately? Those options are take or push. And then I can get this here. Yeah, this is very well defended. It's not easy for his knight to get in the game. What's his intention with this? Perhaps try and trade. I'm okay with a trade. Okay, let's go. Let's say now perhaps here. I really like my position, to be honest. Okay, takes. Get the rook involved. Or here, and you can push. I think I'll take the opportunity to open the file. Take again, or do I? Is it stronger? Does he just? Like, where does my opponent want to go here? Perhaps here. The only move. So do I just block that first? Perhaps I stop some counterplay first. Then I get the knight in the game. Okay. I did miss that move, actually. That was a bit silly. Oh, no. Okay, well, blunder. I didn't miss that too much. Now, do I come... Maybe spot my queen. He's got to waste a couple of moves now. Let's go here. We'll put the checks in, get the rook on this file. Yeah, I guess at some point he wants to go here, which is fine. Maybe I just play that move first. Okay, there, fine. Do that. No problem. Okay, be careful here. Oh, I can just trade. My opponent's still playing on. Interesting. Let's get this rook into the game, perhaps. Here. Fine anyway. Opponent's still trying. Okay, respect. I guess at some point I can come here. Okay, he's trying. He's trying, bless him. But I do have an extra bishop. Now, forcing moves. I want to look at forcing moves, even though my opponent's playing fast. Having to defend a little bit. And there's also the second part of my plan, which was to look at this switch between defense and offense. So at some point, my opponent is going to run out of moves. Perhaps he can play back here. Then I'll just go here. Everything's pretty well defended. He's got to trade at some point. I'm going to be forcing him into a trade. Maybe I can give up some material as well. You know, perhaps with the idea to play here, here, and go slow. But at some point, my opponent's going to have to give something. I wonder if what other moves has he got? King's very vulnerable. Playing on this rank, just keep it on the side of the board. Mine's going to become very active. Can get over to these pawns easily. I don't think there's much my opponent can do here. Surprised to see in these games just the speed that people play, and does provide a lot of opportunities. I wonder if my opponent is timing out. If they do, okay, yeah, it does resign, abandons the game. Now let's jump over to some of those key moments of the game. So on with the analysis. Now my focus for the analysis is going to be, okay, finding missed active moves when ahead, right? Missed active moves. I do want to note the first blunder as well. So I'm going to try and do those two things in the manual analysis. So missed active move. Now I did try to play here for an active move, and I felt like getting this pawn forward and rolling perhaps all the way was maybe a good move. Now it did allow my opponent to capture this pawn. I'm not sure if at this point, I feel like this was potentially my first blunder. And then my opponent, I'm not sure whether they should have taken everything, because now I've just got such a lovely development advantage with this rook. I think at this position, I'm doing absolutely fine, even if my opponent, you know, plays something like this and doesn't hang a pawn here, which they do in the next move. That's definitely my opponent's first blunder. But do I miss a forcing move? I feel like that's a forcing move as well. Just here, I think, yeah, because this is so strong, I get my knight back, I cover this pawn, and I open up an attack. It's kind of a dual purpose move and a no-brainer. My opponent playing very quickly, making lots of moves. Now, that felt like a more aggressive move because I'm getting two pawns down here. Then I'm trying to think about where my opponent wants to go and counteract that. So it's a bit of prophylactic thinking. And my opponent just does a weird move. I guess they don't want a check here, but then I just decide what's the most aggressive thing I can do is just start pushing up here. So I think up to this point, I'm making the aggressive moves. I'm taking the pawn. I did miss this. Okay, so this was certainly a blunder if it wasn't before. Then my opponent blunders. I do play a bit quickly there, so I think I play a bit reactive and move without considering my options. Luckily, my opponent just blunders and doesn't see the rook. Yeah, here, I'm not like super low on time, but I'm fine. Now, I'm in a bit defensive mood. Now, I'm wondering if I do need to attack a bit more. This was the first chance where I didn't have to defend something. So I'm wondering here if I had better opportunity, but I think just take the open file. That's quite an aggressive move. Rook now defends both. My bishop's a bit inactive at the moment, but I think after some time, just get a chance to develop, and my opponent resigns. So actually, I don't really see any positions there that I didn't go for the aggressive route. Let's see what the analysis says now. So diving over here. Okay, right. He's already If I just take it, I'm already up. Okay, interesting. The England gambit, but I don't know it, so I just didn't want to go down that route. I think very often I'll try and not go down a route. Okay, we're back. My opponent is attacking here. It's more or less equal. Was this a mistake? No, it wasn't. Okay, that was my first mistake. Interesting. Now, when my opponent takes, so what should I have played? I had one good move here, which was a3, capture, capture, and just defend that pawn and play with doubled pawns. Okay, interesting, but I just don't like this structure. So, but perhaps giving back the pawn, yeah, was quite a big mistake. But my opponent, okay, I'm still down, but my opponent blunders immediately, twice, and there we go. Okay. So yeah, that opening was tricky. I need to put some more time and energy into that one. But yeah, I identified the focus. So guys, try and take this away if you can. Think about the focus of your first mistakes. Helps you realize where you need to make some focus, as well as today. Can you make more aggressive moves? That's my challenge to you. All right, guys, if you enjoyed, I very much appreciate a subscribe and a like if you get value out of this, and check out the free resources in the description below. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.